Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And today I wanted to weigh in on this kind of like fitness drama that's been going on. I want to basically react to this episode where PeachFit is with, I believe, Ethan Bernard, and they are comparing what they eat or what they used to eat or whatever. So I want to talk about this from a toxic ritualistic perspective, which is what I call E followed by letter D on the channel. I have to code it differently because of YouTube. So it is very obvious to me that Ethan has binge issues. Super, super obvious. He even does the denial, which I'm not saying that everybody who says they don't have it is somebody that's in the issue, but it's just very obvious that Ethan is in the issue for a lot of different reasons, especially considering like there's just been a lot going on with his weight and with what's said about it. All of it is there. But I do want to talk about the fact that I feel like there might be something with PeachFit too, a little bit, or some kind of residual. So I just want to point that out, basically, as we watch this. So we're going to go into it. I guess I can comment on the foods and stuff. I can just give my thoughts for whatever they're worth. I've downsized about 170 lbs. So I was at my highest 383. I'm now around 215, basically. And I've stayed there for a long ass time. Too long. No, I'm just kidding. But I've stayed there for a long ass time. So let's go ahead and break it down.
This is Ethan. He used to weigh 660 pounds, and right now he's on his weight loss journey, and he's lost a ton of weight. And I'm Jacob. I lost 130 pounds, and today I'm going to be trying Ethan's old 660-pound diet, the exact foods I got him there. But my job in this video isn't just to eat his old diet. For every meal Ethan pulls out of his old diet, I'm going to be showing him a lower calorie, higher protein version of that same food.
So while he's eating what I used to eat, I'm going to be eating the swapped out version that's going to help me reach my weight loss goal.
But wait, let me tell you.
So it's a little bit sped up for me just because I want to get through this, but I already have some issues with this on a lot of different levels. So Ethan is in a very different place physically than PeachFit. I need to know his name. I'm horrible. I'm so bad. Anyways, but he's in a much different place. So as far as I know, he's in like the 400s. He is tall though. So you have to kind of fluctuate it or like shift your perception in your mind for where he's at. I should look at like about what his BMI is. 1 second. Okay, so I just did a quick BMI calculation for about 450 at 6'5", and that's a 53. So he's bad. He's definitely smo, super morbidly obese. This is a very tough situation to be in. I was super morbidly obese when I started. A lot of people are saying he didn't used to be 660. There's a lot of speculation that that's a lie because it's not verified at all. I have verification of my weight. I have pictures on the channel. I have it. It's there. So nobody can say that about me. But I will say with his clear toxic ritualistic issue, there could be lies within the details and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised because it's also a way to try to get pressure off of him and all that stuff. Like there's a lot of manipulation that goes into it, but he's around 450 now, and that's definitely smo. So he's super morbidly obese, and giving advice on like lower cal, higher protein options and that's very like vanity weight coded. That's very diet culture. That's somebody who's trying to get abs. What he needs is basically like, you need to cook what you are having yourself. That's the advice that he needs. He needs the advice of go to the gym, but not too much. Be more delicate with it. You have to be delicate. Your hunger is really intense. You have high insulin resistance. I would tell him to not eat starch at all. Basically, I would tell him don't have starch, don't have those damn seed oils. Don't have those two things, period. Try your best not to. If you have to have starch, have potato. Don't have any grain at all. That's what I would tell him, because his insulin resistance is probably off the charts. Basically, it's so hard. You're so hungry at that stage, and you have to totally have you have to almost have a completely different diet than what PeachFit is suggesting, more than likely. It's just not, it's like a whole other planet. You are on a different planet when you are that big. Everything is different. So what I would tell him if I was coaching him is I would say everything you have must be for energy or nutrition. That's it. If it's not energizing you, you throw it out. If it doesn't have nutrition, then you throw it out. So that can look like sugar. Sometimes sugar will work, especially if you're active, because it's stimulating. It can look like caffeine. It's stimulating. It can look like, like I think they talk about coffee or something. It makes sense. It gives you energy. But other stuff, no. So he's not somebody I would suggest oatmeal for. It would weigh him down. I wouldn't suggest rice for him. It would weigh him down. It digests slowly. Whenever there's things that digest slowly at that size, it's unenergizing, basically. So people don't think about that. That's why you have a lot of people that push for keto when you're that big, or push for these kind of things, because they tend to be lower in fiber. And it's because it's easier to digest, because his digestion is likely trashed, basically. He probably has very low stomach acid. He's probably super hypothyroid. There's just a lot of issues that are going on with him, basically. So this typical diet culture advice of likely like oats and, chickpeas and things like that, it's not helpful. You need something heavy and something that's going to help you with your hunger. You'd need like beef steaks. You would need like high fat. You need high everything, because he could eat so many calories anyways and still downsize. So it's like you need full fat stuff, and that fat in that stuff should have nutrition. You need tons of vitamin A, tons of iron, tons of everything, because you don't digest it. So let me just put it to you this way. What he needs to eat is different than the average person, but it is not different in the fact that he must be strategic. That's what I'm going to say. So what should he be having? He should be having things like chocolate, ice cream, steak, things that are heavy, things like bacon. It's filling. It keeps you full. Okay? And if people could be like, I don't like that. Oh, that makes me uncomfortable. I'm not saying you have to have it. I'm saying that would help him not feel hungry to the extent that he's feeling it. It's heavy. You need juices, things that are stimulating. Do you see how all of that is quick to digest? It's fast. It gives you energy. And so then you are less hunger. You have less of that. So again, you're in a different striata. Everything you do at that size is a workout. So you have to treat every single thing you do as like you need tons of electrolytes, tons of nutrition, tons of everything, because just being alive at that size is a job. It's a whole job. It's an athletic feat. It is a triathlon in and of itself, just to get out of bed. And people don't understand what that actually feels like. And they often come at it from a place of judgment, from something that they have zero understanding for. So again, if I were coaching him, I would tell him, if you're 400 plus, you could try to lose 4 pounds per week. But you got to count, and you got to stick to it, and you got to have what you're going to have, and it has to make you full, give you energy and nutrition. That's it. If it's not one of those things, which by the way, there's many things that don't do that when you're that big, then you don't have it, period. You drop it like a sack of potatoes. Okay? It's totally different striata, totally different physical framework that he is in.
I'll tell you a little bit more about Ethan. At his heaviest, Ethan weighed 660 pounds. And this wasn't overnight. It was years of specific foods and habits that just became his normal. None of it felt outrageous to him. These were just meals that fit into his life. The goal today isn't to judge what he used to eat.
There's a lot of seed oils in those Jocko Wouldn't suggest it for him. It's going to make him hungrier. Again, though, when you're not as big, it doesn't matter as much. So things shift. But he is super morbidly obese. So there are certain things that he needs to abstain from completely. 0. And oftentimes it is ultra processed foods because they have those oils or they have starches. Those two things are not helpful for somebody who is super morbidly obese. It's too much.
Prove you can take those same cravings, those same meals, and completely flip the numbers without giving up foods you actually enjoy. Ethan is already deep into his weight loss journey and is doing incredible. But today, we're going to see how different things could have looked from
Again, apparently that's not verified, so I'm going to take it with a grain of salt.
start. Now that you know a little more, let's see how today goes. All right, let's see how many calories are in his old diet. You ready?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Where'd you bring us? Is this what you have for breakfast?
Every Saturday.
I have no idea what you're ordering me, but
Yeah.
take it easy on me, all right?
You're not ready for
So
that.
a lot of people criticize this because they were like, this is like taking an addict to a place and blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with that sentiment, but I will tell you things that I do find problematic about it as they come up.
This.
All right, I'm just gonna sit over here. You order for me, all right?
Sorry about that, wait.
No, you're good.
Can I get started for you?
All right, Jacob.
All right, Ethan, what do you got for me, bro?
This is the breakfast order, my friend. A large caramel frozen coffee with extra caramel, obviously.
So he wanted that because it was super stimulating, because he doesn't have any energy, because he's totally hypothyroid. So that is like a cry for help hypothyroid drink, basically. And I would tell him, if that's what it's going to take for you to get to the gym or to stay within your CalDef, then have that, because it's extremely energizing. But yes, it's extremely intense for the average person. But remember, when you are that big, everything is like a freaking triathlon. And you don't get it. If you've never been that big, then you don't really understand it. You don't understand how difficult it actually is. However, there's plenty of things I would tell him not to have in this meal. But that is something I'd say, okay, go ahead.
Have to go.
Because 1,100 calories isn't enough.
No, of course not.
A 25-count assorted munchkin, for the
No. So those are fried starch. Horrible.
record, not that this makes it much better. Me and my dad would split these. And obviously this is a lot of sweet stuff, so you need something savory. This is hash browns and snack and chicken.
Fried starch. Horrible. So I would tell him to just have the drink and not the other stuff. Because that stuff, those oils, it's like an anvil. Makes you exhausted. Also, it makes your insulin resistance so much worse. So just don't. I would tell him to have that and basically some kind of heavy meat. So something like bacon or steak or something very heavy, basically. You need something, or like cheese on something. You need a lot of fat and protein with that too. But remember, he has thousands of cows to have and still downsize quite a bit. Okay? So you have to think about it from that perspective, especially considering if he's active. But again, there's no nutrition in this meal. There's 0 nutrition. So I would have a huge issue with this. I don't mind something stimulating if it's with something nutritious, but this is not nutritious. So what are nutritious and stimulating foods? Something like orange juice. That's something that's nutritious and stimulating. Steak isn't necessarily stimulating, but it's very nutritious. Eggs are very nutritious. So you have to think, like, what is super nutritious foods? Those types of things are easy to digest for most people, typically animal-based, which I know that pisses off a lot of people, but I don't care. I'm talking about somebody who doesn't have strong digestion whatsoever. So you have to have stuff that isn't super fibrous. Otherwise you're just going to get constipated, and it's a disaster. And you typically have a lot of diarrhea too, if we want to be real about it. Especially if he has this toxic ritualistic thing going on. His digestion is trashed, and people just don't get it. They think, well, I was able to eat broccoli and oats, so why can't he? Because he can't digest it. You get it?
And this is all.
This was first thing on Saturday every weekend.
I gotta ask, how many calories in just this here?
So I think it's pushing 3K. I think it's right over 130 grams of fat.
This is bigger than my face, dude.
It's pure crap fat too. It's not saturated. It doesn't have any nutrition in it. And when you're hypothyroid, you need more saturated fat, because your ratios are bad because you've had too many fried foods. You've had too much fast food, too many of those things that have those seed oils in it. That's what I talk about all the time, remember? Why do I talk about it? Because people that have hypothyroidism or fatty liver induced by it, they've had way too much of that fatty acid profile. So in order to balance it out, you have to have saturated to create a better ratio. That's the whole point. That's what helps your thyroid. That's what helps you feel more satiated. This is a horrible meal to eat. It is horrible. When you combine polyunsaturated fatty acids in huge amounts with sugar and starch, it is extremely insulinogenic. It is very bad for insulin resistance. It's very bad for diabetes. This is a hugely diabetic meal. Horrible.
Wow. Well, I'm excited.
That frozen coffee is like my kryptonite, man.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I like.
It's because you need energy, and it's the only thing that gives you energy, which is why I would tell you to have that. But this is crap. I'd say no. Have some juice, some meat, something nutritious with it, and you combine it, and then you'll have the energy and the nutrition at the same time. And you also have to have better electrolytes, because this drink will deplete your electrolytes. So you would need juice, especially at that size, because you have a lot of calories coming in and you need a lot of everything. So you need a lot of potassium, a lot of magnesium, a lot of these things. So you typically have to have like juices or smoothies or something like that. That would actually be helpful for someone like him. But no, he's going to have donuts. That's horrible. Do you see the difference?
Protein coffee so much.
It does smell really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you mentioned protein coffee, so let me show you what.
Yeah, what am I eating?
Yeah, all right. So I got this.
This is a little cup compared to this, dude. Oh my god.
So the comparison aspect is super triggering. So I wanted to talk about this too from the toxic ritualistic side. Super triggering. So comparing and saying, oh, this is so shitty compared to that. Oh, this is so small compared to that. Super, super, super fall by the letter D. So it's not the fact that the food is there. It's how it's being talked about. You have to remember that within fall by the letter D, it's all about narrative crafting. It's all about drama. It's all about these kind of things. You're putting emotions and putting and projecting qualities onto the food. So when he's like, this is so small, this is so this is so that, that is very, very reinforcing of fall by letter D. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I don't know if PeachFit is, he could just be unaware, or if he's getting some kind of high off of it. Like, I do so much better, but I don't like it at all. I just don't. I think the comparison is bad.
But there's more protein.
Oh, yeah.
Way more protein.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know how much protein this has, but I'm assuming very little.
Probably not much.
And then this.
Some eggs.
So 200 grams of egg whites, bell peppers, salt, pepper, and there's gonna be 2 eggs in that. So it's
okay.
It's like my go-to. This is one of the things I did that helped me lose 130 pounds in a year. Right.
Sweet.
So in the coffee, again.
Yeah. So I could see that working for a lot of people, especially from a midpoint down. So mid-sized, or basically like you're just overweight down. I think that that would be a great meal for that. For somebody who's super morbidly obese, typically no, unless if you're not hypo at all. It wouldn't be enough. You'd feel like you were starving. I can't even say that. You'd feel like you were extremely hungery if you just had that. It would be like eating nothing, and you'd just be like not even able to get out of bed if you were smo and you had that for breakfast. So it also puts way too much expectations on somebody that big, where they're like, oh my God, I could never actually do this. This is so hard, because it is hard. I'm telling you now, I would be basically dead if I would have had that breakfast. I would not have been able to get out of bed in the morning. So you have to think like you're just in a different category. However, today, totally could have that every single day. Even from like a year ago. So when I was like around 250, 245, 235, like in that zone, I could have done that. That probably would have been a good breakfast for me. So I typically like to eat more in the morning though, but that's just me. But I have a lighter dinner most of the time. That's just what's tended to work, but not always. There were times where I would do intermittent fasting in the mornings when I was less HUNGERY. If I'm even spelling that right. Gosh, I don't know. I have to talk in hopscotch for YouTube. But when I wasn't feeling that way in the morning, I wouldn't have anything until later. And I typically have around 2 meals a day, especially when I was super morbid. But again, you're in a different wavelength. Like your body is just so different. It's crazy to think about.
Is a protein coffee has. It's an sugar-free caramel protein latte.
And I would get so much hate for saying this stuff when I was that big. And I was right.
Okay. So it's 2 Splenda, 2 sugar-free caramel syrup, 1 sugar-free caramel syrup, blonde espresso, and brown sugar cold
The sugar-free
foam.
syrups and sugar-free stuff, when you're super morbidly obese, they tend to make you hungry. Would not recommend at all. Just have sugar. Just have sugar and don't have the starch, like I told you. Sugar above starch every damn day. That will make a huge difference in your life. And most of the time, people that are super morbidly obese, they're having a massive amount of starch, more than you could even imagine. People are just like, oh, what? But starch is good for you. It has good fiber and da-da-da. Not for somebody who's SMO. It's not great. It really isn't. I don't know what to tell you. Like, do you want me to lie? It is not great. Okay? It's a lot of diarrhea. Like, I'm just telling you. Like I remember people used to be like, you should have salads and you should this. And it's like, I would literally just get diarrhea every time I had a salad. Like it was just like, no, rejected. But today, yeah, I could have it, you know? Today I was thriving off of oats for a while, but then I dropped them. But now I'm having a lot of sweet potatoes because I want more copper. So it has twice the copper of oats. And I feel great. You see, things change, and that's okay.
Give that a shot.
Okay, so this is over 3,000 calories. So what am I looking at here?
So this is about 635 calories, 78 grams of protein. So
Wow.
there's a lot here.
Oh, that's not even that lean. Sorry, not me judging. But if I was like in a Lana era, which on my channel, that's like a deep cal def for vanity purposes, that would not be worth it to me.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So I think mine beats yours.
I think the macros on those are a little bit better.
I think the taste is a little bit better here, though, to be
for
fair.
sure.
The macros, the calcium is way too low. You'd be better having a tub of cottage cheese, which I know that's so triggering, but that gives you like 60% of your calcium and it's 480 calories for non-fat versus that. So I don't think that's a good meal. I'm just going to say it. I don't know what that meal is for. Maybe like a mid-sized person, like I said, it'd be good for that. Or maybe for him, if he's just maintaining, then it's fine. But I don't know. Like I'm just looking at the extremes of both sides and it's terrible for both of them.
Let's see.
I never really talked about my food choices and stuff on my channel that much because I don't specifically like endorse anything. That's why. And I understand that so much of it is individualized. So you have to like take it for where you're at and be able to change, basically. That's what I try to tell people all the time. But I do have advice if you're like in a deep cal def and vanity, or if you're SMO. I know, I've done both, you know? And I would say a tub of cottage cheese would be better than that. It has probably similar or better macros, much more calcium. And I would probably use stevia in my coffee for sure during that time. I had a lot of stevia sweetened coffees, 40 cals, basically, with 2 tablespoons of half and half. That will get you through anything. It'll get you through.
Just like, cheers. Think it and sink it, baby.
Let's go. Oh my.
So my version would have been 480, maybe 520 for much more calcium. And it's probably a similar amount of protein. So, just saying. Unless we forget the dinner of medium eggs, 6 medium eggs for 300 calories. That's a lifesaver too in vanity. Lifesaver. Absolute lifesaver.
You would have no clue this was protein.
Yeah.
I'm sure that just tastes like pure sugar. It's so good. Though,
Wow.
isn't it? Like,
This might be my kryptonite. This is.
crazy.
I'm gonna have to.
It's so good, dude. Like, it's so bad. Like, that's like a 1,300 calorie.
It doesn't taste good when you're thinner though. It starts to become too much, which that's something that would probably blow his mind if he actually weight normalized and like took care of his thyroid and stuff. You feel like it's too much. It's like, oh, this is too much for me. Like, I think for me, that would be too sweet now. I'd be like, ugh. Like, I still have sugar now, but even like, I'm having 2,700, and the amount of sugar I had a little bit of like dye-free candy at Walmart for 270, and that's all the sugar I had. It's like what, 10% or something? Yeah, 10% of my calories from sugar. It's like nothing. So if I were to have something like that, that's like 1,100, he said, I'd be like, it's like, ugh. But when I was smo, it would have tasted amazing. It would have been like, oh my God, this is like life's blood. It's like you're a freaking insect. You're like an ant or something. I've been watching a lot of videos about like fire ants and stuff, and they just exist off of like liquidized protein and fucking sugar. And it's like there's something to the Wall-E movie, you know, where they're just eating a bunch of like liquefied food. There's something to that because that's literally what you want. It's very hypo-coded and it's very EFOB by letter D coded, but that's kind of how it is because your digestive system is just trashed.
Calorie coffee, but it tastes like, I don't know. I sound like a fat ass. I don't care. That is like my favorite thing on the planet. It's a frozen caramel coffee, like Death Row. You know one of those, dude.
So I would just tell him to just have that and then leave all this crap and have some actual nutritious food with it. That would have been my advice.
This is a super good.
And I don't know how many calories he can have, but I think he said his maintenance was like 6,000 something or something like that. So if he was doing like 3 pounds per week, he'd be at like 3,000 something, or maybe even a little more if he's active. So maybe like 4K. So that'd be like 1,000 and something with whatever meat he would have with that. So you see, if you look at it, let's say he's having 4,000 in a day, he could still lose like almost 3 pounds, or yeah, like 3 pounds a week. And he could have that. And if he wanted to just have a little bit less, then he could have it too. He could have like an 800 calorie one. You see, it's very easy to like adjust that with time. So it's like you have to think about things less black and white. A lot of people don't want to do that. And a lot of people are like the food police and they get all extra. But I try to think about it realistically. Like, what is something he could actually do sustainably at that size? And it takes a long ass time to get out of smo. It's long.
For being a protein latte, though, this is like solid.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. What am I going to?
And people will say, no, but that wouldn't work because... And it's like, well, what he's doing isn't working now. He didn't downsize hardly at all the whole year, which they're like, it's because he's failing in it. Yeah, it's because he probably should just be having this damn coffee. It's not a big deal. And it's always funny to me how people will be so calories in, calories out, but then when it comes to something like that, they're like the food police. People are very toxic ritualistic in comment sections and stuff, and they can't think about things realistically, and they can't think about gradients. So what's better than what he's doing is to have that coffee with nutritious meat rather than those donuts. That's not going to do anything for him.
So tell me what this is here.
Well, I think it
Trash.
depends because the flavors, it all depends on what flavors they have.
Sure.
The assorted is just whatever. It's basically just a mix of everything they have.
It's just a mini donut here.
So you're going to have like glazed
Makes you exhausted.
blueberry. They have like
Glazed.
some weird like fruit punch ones in there, dude.
Blueberry.
Like those crazy
Trash.
looking ones.
Okay. Wow.
It's gonna be some. Well, yeah, me and my dad would split a 24-count donut. We would each get our own snack and bacon. We would each get our own coffee, and we would do that every Saturday morning.
Wow.
So at that point in my journey, I was actually dialed in, eating 2,500 calories a day during the week, but then I didn't track on weekends. As you can see by my breakfast.
Yep.
The not tracking on weekends just murdered everything I did throughout the week.
Also, these oils are very harsh and they stick with you. And they accumulate over time.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Hey,
It was the negotiation thing, right?
no, for sure.
The oils don't just go away. They are stored on you.
It was bad. Snack and bacon and a thing of hash browns.
Okay, so
Dude, their hash browns are good
Trash.
too. Like, you think McDonald's hash browns are good? Those are fire.
so this is just
Little hash brown discs.
Okay.
And then snack and bacon is my dad's favorite thing. It's like a maple pepper
Hypo in a box. Hypo in a bag.
bacon. That's my dad's
Horrible.
kryptonite right there. Every time he goes to
Trash.
that smells really good, dude.
It is good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is.
Just try it.
All right, here. Cheers. Get
Yes,
a
sir.
good.
I'd be like,
Oh.
ew, I'm literally not going to eat this. That's what I would tell him. I'd be like, this is actually trash. I'm not eating it.
Bam.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Oh man. Let me know how that is.
It tastes like eggs.
So the comparison is just, it's funky.
Eggs.
You know,
All pepper.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
For sure.
Having something
He's
fresh.
like, it's not bad. He's like, but I'm going to feel like I'm starving to death. I'm going to feel like I'm not having anything after. I'm going to feel like I didn't have anything.
Like when you're losing weight, you're not going to have it where it's like you're not gonna get this, and you won't ever come close. You can switch things, you can manipulate it.
This
where-
is,
yeah.
I don't know if they do frozen ones.
You could, but you can't have those. Have the coffee, have some fruit with it, have some meat with it. Don't have this.
Because I like the texture of frozen coffees, but this taste-wise
Yeah, for sure.
is really, really
Yeah.
good.
If you can manipulate it ever so slightly to have it where it's like you can enjoy dieting, that's always a win. But
Absolutely.
it's like this, yeah. I'm super excited.
I
want
want to see what you think about hash browns. I think these are better than McDonald's. Yeah, that's a big statement coming from a fat guy.
I wouldn't try it.
by far.
Yeah.
By far.
Dude, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, dude. People are like, oh, McDonald's has the best hash browns. I'm like, no, it's, they don't know the game, dude.
Huh? All right, I'm gonna try if you don't.
I'll make my own. I'll use any other fat. I'll use coconut oil. I'll use bacon fat. I'll use tallow. I'll use whatever. I'm not using the shitty ass oils that they have at those restaurants. I'm not doing it. And I'll use a fucking potato. That's an actual potato.
Donuts here.
You gotta try one of each flavor.
Okay, okay.
Classic. Yep.
So I would think like it's better to just, if you have to have stuff like that, it's honestly better to make it yourself. And please use a better oil, please. And if you can, use better flour too. But it's hard. It's hard to get good flour in the US. But you can always order it from other countries. You can order it. You know, that's what my friend Lisa does, for you guys who know Lisa, that she orders flour from Italy, I think. And it's totally a different quality of wheat. It has a lot more potassium in it. It's much better for you, basically. It's more electrolyte balanced. So there's a lot of gradients to this type of stuff, but you need to like think about the quality of what you're having too. And it's just not good altogether. It's trash.
Blueberry.
Blueberry, okay.
My favorite. Me and my dad's favorite.
The coffee is at least energizing. Those foods, they're trash and they make you exhausted.
For sure. Damn. I know, dude. It's like so bad, but it's so good.
You'd feel
This
so
one,
tired.
I think it's a fruit punch donut. That one might be a little weird. Like Fruity Pebbles-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably what they're going for, honestly.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Super good.
Oh, yeah.
So consuming something like this afterwards, you're totally fine.
I would eat again 2 hours later because we would go to a local.
Yeah, because those oils and all that, and that, I told you, it makes you to where you can just eternally consume because they affect your satiety signals. And when you're hypo and stuff, it keeps you in that hypo hunger too. So there's a lot of physical problems going on with somebody in his state, and it is dangerous. I try to talk about it from a realistic perspective too. But it is very dangerous, like, to exist in that state for a long period of time. And then you have the mental health issue of the toxic ritualistic on top of it. So you have a psychological drive to play bingo, replace the O with an E all the time too. And there's no physical barrier to it. And people don't understand that. So people that have never been that big, they're like, I don't get how people can do it. I can tell you how, because you do not feel satiety. When you're eating like that, you don't feel it. If it were to be in beef tallow, you would feel full like this. You can't do it. If it's butter, you feel full. It stops you. You're like, ooh. Saturated fat is extremely satiating. Satiety. Satiating. It's saturated fat. It is the life's blood of a super morbidly obese person's journey to downsize, because that is ultimately what gives you satiety more than anything. And people are like, that's not true. It's horrible for you. No. It's horrible to be that big, and it's horrible to overdo anything. But again, people will act like, well, we have to have so much nuance for oats and broccoli, but we can't give any grace to saturated fat. You see? It's just interesting to me. And that's where people have toxic ritualistic logic in general, or they just don't understand, like, no food is sacred. No food is without criticism. No food is applicable to everybody all the time. It's just not the case. It's not.
Town that was about 40 minutes from us. We would start the trip with Dunkin', and then we would go grocery shopping, and then we would head back home. So we would stop at Dunkin', grab 4,000 calories worth of crap. That good, bro. Yeah. And then we would go shopping, come home, and make lunch. Wow. So it was, honestly, it wasn't very satiating at all.
Really?
I mean, this coffee alone
Told you.
would probably fill most people up. But it's
why I ask this is just because if I consume this right now.
If you just had the coffee and you didn't have the other stuff, you'd be more full. But it's the oils. That's why.
I would feel very, very sick. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm just like super curious. But yeah, man, this is.
No, I mean, I could see that if you were to eat everything there. Like the coffee, dude, I could go through 5 of those in a day, no problem.
Yeah.
Like,
That's probably too many cows for sure. But it's because he's lacking energy, and this is blocking the energy, basically. So those donuts and stuff, that's blocking it. You'd be satisfied with one. You wouldn't need so many of them because you'd have enough energy. It's about energy. So people don't understand how physical supermorbid obesity is. It's extremely physical, too. That's why it's so challenging to get out, because especially if you have mental health issues plus the physical issues that are often not acknowledged, that's why people fail all the time.
Is this something that you can do?
this is too plain for me. And I know we didn't add hot sauce or anything.
Oh, for
so
sure.
It's like,
We forgot the hot sauce.
I could do something like this. I'm more of honestly, I don't usually eat in the mornings, but when I do, it's like protein coffee of my own making with like a protein bar.
Okay.
That's easier for me.
They have those oils in them. It's not good. Not good.
They can be,
It's also usually estrogenic protein, so it's things like soy, which again, I'm not saying it's bad for everybody all the time, but if you have a fatty liver, if you're super morbidly obese, if you're hypothyroid, it's not ideal. Same thing with pea protein. It's a little bit higher in estrogen, which again, for a lot of people, it's not a big deal. But if you're super morbidly obese and have all these hormonal issues, it's gonna make you hungrier. It's not a good strategy. So when I hear him say that, I'm like, oh, this is why he's failing. Because he's having that, he should be having meat, straight up meat. There's no need for diet culture bullshit. You're super morbidly obese. You need to eat real food. You need to have real nutrition, real energy going into the system. You don't need to have that stuff. That stuff can wait for later.
how much of a convenience guy I am.
I am too.
I am not getting out a pan and putting in bell peppers and eggs and stuff. Like I can cook, but it's easier for me to just eat a protein. I know it's not as healthy, but like, come on, get up.
Choose your battles. Like
It's about satiety, and he doesn't have any freaking balls. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but I'm just being a bitch today. To say that, I would say, but you're gonna be hungry when you eat that. You're gonna be hungry, or it's gonna make you feel anxious. Because it's not good. It's not sticking to you. Have some bacon. have some steak, have something that's going to stick to you so that you'll stay full, or have a bunch of chicken or something. Have anything else. I used to have a lot of, like when I was SMO, I would have a lot of rotisserie chickens, basically. And that was like so satisfying, especially when I was active, because you can have a lot of cows still and still downsize. So it's a different world to be in, and you can continue to downsize eating like that, but it's very satiating. You want satiety. That's your biggest battle when you're super morbidly obese. Your two biggest enemies are exhaustion and hunger. So you have to fight those two things the entire journey. And you also have to think about the seasonal impact on you too, because those impacts are very strong when you're super morbidly obese.
I guess protein coffee, protein bar, 400 calories.
So you also have to prioritize certain times of the year where you're going to push farther, and other times of the year where you have to push back or like rest, because you often have off and on seasons in super morbid obesity because it's too hard to go through it all the way. That's not true for everybody, but for a lot of people, it's too hard to do it all in 1 year. And again, I'm not interested in just one random person's story where they downsize by 200 pounds in a year. I'm talking about the average person at that size. They probably will have to break it up 50 per year or something like that, which it's not very exciting and it's not like clickable and all that stuff, but it's real, and he would have been done faster. So I probably would be coaching him very differently if I was coaching him. But I'm not really into being a coach because people don't listen. They don't.
Boom, 50 grams of protein, you're done.
Wow. All right, so this is breakfast. I'm excited to see what we're gonna eat the rest of the day, man.
Oh, dude, you haven't seen anything yet. You ready to see what lunch is?
Let's do it, man. Driving away from Duncan with those breakfast numbers, that's when it starts to click. Ethan wasn't making bad choices on purpose. Nobody ever showed him what the same meal could look like with a few small swaps. That's exactly what we're here to do.
Done.
And we've still got 3 meals to go.
All right, you ready to see what's for lunch?
Let's see it, man. Let's see it.
Okay.
Tell me what this is.
These top ones got a little crispy. These are tortilla pizzas.
Okay.
Using rice tortillas.
Okay.
Full fat cheddar and mozzarella cheese, and I would normally do chicken sausages. I think these are just normal brats.
Okay.
But how many calories do you think is on this plate? Okay, you give me a hint. There's about probably 6.5 servings of cheddar and a good 4 servings of mozz on there.
I'm going to say 1,050 calories.
Double. No shot.
Okay, so I would cut out those tortillas. So I tell him just have it without the tortilla, because it's an easy way to cut those cows and it doesn't taste that different. He'd be like, I don't like it though. It's a texture thing. I'm a texture boily pop. And I'd say, I don't give a fuck if you're a texture person. You care more about the flavor. Have the flavor. If you are obsessed with the tortilla, then just make one out of cheese or something. But that would be very filling. Extremely filling. And then if you cut out those tortillas, that saves a lot of cows. A lot.
This is our dude game.
And you could even combine it. So you could have the coffee with the cheese and meat. I know it sounds weird, but it would work. I'm telling you. I can't even say that. He would not be experiencing hunger. Okay? He would be full and he'd have energy. Again, the rice tortillas, it's going to make you tired because his insulin resistance is too high to handle the starch. He will be tired. So I'd say cut that out entirely.
This is close to 2,300.
This is like, if I were to eat this all, this
is my daily caloric intake at this point, basically. Almost.
That's what mine is.
Yeah.
So that's a very low intake for being 450. And I think that could be part of his problem of why he's not succeeding.
Really what I would eat for lunch is my
quarter.
Because 2,300, that's what I was having when I was in my Kesha era or when I was mid-size. So basically my Kesha era was like a lighter cow def for vanity. That was this year. So over like March and April, that time. And it was a year ago, around July-ish, I was like around 230, 240, that zone. It's between 240, 230, 225, like around there. So I was about to leave the mids at that point. But I would say I was still at an 1,000 cal def, and I was mid-sized when I was having 2,300. So I'm like, no. I think it's too low for where he's at. I would have never been able to do that when I was SMO. When I was SMO, I believe I started at 4K. And then I went down. I should look at like what my cals were when I was like morbid and stuff. But let me look. Let me see if I can see it on my app. Okay, so I was looking at it. So I probably weighed, it's saying that my budget, I don't know if this is right. It's saying my budget in like May of 2024 was like around 2,300. But I probably weighed, let me see. Got to get the calculator out, honey. Hold on. So I weighed about 285 in May of 2024. And I was morbid at the time. So it's like I was having that 2,400. I think on days that I would go to the gym, I do full body. So I'd have 500 numbers in the sky. So it'd be like 28 those days. But I was struggling. I was hungry. So I actually had to take it a step down to 1 pound per week during the summer of 2024. And I was having like 300 or 400 extra calories a day because I was just too hungry. So, and I was like, I can't do this. So it's like, I think it's too much because you have to think. So I weighed 285. He weighs 450. And he's taller than me. It doesn't make sense, does it? I don't think it makes any sense. I'm like, what the hell was I having last year then? Hold on. I'm confused. Okay, so like a year ago when I was mid, it was less actually. I was having 2140 in May of 2025. Gosh, no wonder I was a bitch. I think for me, it was really hard to be under 23. I was like, it's probably why I was such a bitch. But that means when I'd go to the gym, I'd have that, I'd have those 500 in the sky. Okay. Just because I would do full body. But oof. So I was having around 2,100 when I weighed like, again, 250. No, that was less. 244, 237, 238, like around there. So high 230s at 6'1". And so it's like he's having 200 more than I did. And he weighs 450. Do you see what I'm saying? It's probably too low.
This?
Yeah, wow, that's ridiculous. Okay, well, I mean, does it taste good?
Oh, yeah. And there's enough red pepper flakes on there to burn down a small village.
Wow. All right, so are you ready to see what you're going to be eating for lunch?
Yeah, let's see what's up.
Here you are. So this is something I made when I lost 130 pounds. And we have...
Little side salad?
Yep. So we have some lavish bread with some pizza sauce, and then we have low-fat cheese, and we have two different kinds of cheese. We have the mozzarella, and then we have cheddar.
Oh, so these are very similar.
Very
It's
similar.
very diet culture. Very diet culture. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. It's just, again, it's not going to stick to you. You're going to be hungry at that size. I could see why it worked for him, though, because it's more vanity-ish. So it kind of makes sense. Like, I can kind of understand it. I think at this point, I still wouldn't have had the bread. But there's some really weird, like, diet culture stuff I never tried. Like, there was, like, a chicken breast pizza where you make it out of chicken breast. I low-key wanted to try that, but I never tried it. But I feel like if I were to do a vanity full-on thing like that, I would have done that because you just need a ton of protein. You just need a ton of protein. Like, gosh, you know? Sometimes you do need carbs though too. So I could kind of understand, but it depends on how deep it is. I don't know. My lowest that I got to was like 1900 and I like wanted to die. I wanted to unalive. So I don't understand. Like, that's why I tell you guys, I'm like, I don't think I will ever totally understand the reductive side of things because I'm like, to do that, it was like, it took everything. And I was so tired. So I'm just like, hell no. But that's the lowest I got to. And I don't care to ever do that again. Literally ever.
Way less in calories. This is fat-free cheese, and then you have the turkey on top, the turkey pepperoni.
Turkey
Amazing
pepperoni.
macros. This is really good macros.
Turkey pepperoni slaps, and it's pretty high in protein, and it's pretty diet culture, but it does work. I would suggest that for sure.
Macros here, and of course you can't forget the side salad. A little bit of greens. For the dressing, we have sweet chili sauce, super low in calorie, and then we have the avocado, healthy fats.
Okay, so mine's
not the best fat profile for Smo either. It would probably make him a little anxious or a little bit like, it's a little edgy for him. And again, that cheese, it doesn't have any fat in it. So I would say forget the avocado and crap and just have actual cheese. I don't know if that bread is that bad. It's probably not that bad because it's just super light. But I would just have the actual cheese, like just full fat cheese, full fat dairy. And then I would maybe make like a cassava crust if I wanted to, if I was just like, I really want a pizza, like I do something like that. Or if I was like, I don't care, I'll just, have just the cheese, the tomato sauce, and the pepperoni. That would work too. So again, you cut out those starches. It's an easy way to get rid of calories, and you will stay full, basically.
It's over 2,000 calories. How many calories is in just this pizza?
So just the pizza alone is 495 calories, 40 grams of protein.
You also have to have a lot of calcium, and people don't ever consider calcium, but you have to. You will be less satiated if you do not get enough calcium.
So this is less than a quarter of the calories of this.
Yes.
To be fair, this is 1, and that's 4. So if there were 4 of these, you'd be close.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I mean, dude, both look good. Do they taste good?
Oh, I know that does.
And I know that does. But I don't know. We'll see, because this obviously looks so much better.
Go for one of the lower ones, because the top ones are crispy.
Okay. I like crispy, though.
Oh, if you like crispy, you'll love the top ones.
Okay.
Because they're a little more done. Those were the top racks, so they got more done than I'd like them to.
Okay.
But
I like them crispy.
No, that's good
Cool.
then.
Well, hold on.
Wait,
we got to cheers.
No, it's dink it and sink it. Let's go. Wow. Okay. Yeah. A lot more fat.
That's really good. And how often did you do stuff like this?
I would make the tortilla pizzas almost every day. I wouldn't always do 4. I would sometimes use different meats and stuff. But those tortillas, first off, how do you like the rice tortillas?
Phenomenal. This is phenomenal.
Isn't the texture crazy?
Yeah, it's good.
Like you see them and you're like, oh, that's weird. But once you experience them, I never went back to flour tortillas, ever.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I would do stuff like this. I would do scrambles on these tortillas, but like these pizzas were like a daily thing.
The thing is, with the pizza you're consuming, like it has a good amount of protein, but to really make you a lot more full, is we have that side salad here, just like the volume. So
absolutely. Yeah. No, I would actually.
So volume eating, it's genetic. I'm not a volume eating person, so that would do nothing for me. Literally, which is weird, but I do understand from a genetic level, volume does work. So that is literally individual. I have no hate in my heart for somebody that's a volume eater. I am not, like I said. So for me, I'm more of a fat-based eater, or like my stomach can sense the amount of calories that are in something. So it's like very different. So you have to see if you're that way too, because I could have some oil and I will feel that oil basically, Other people, not so much. So that just depends on the person. It's totally individual. If he is a volume eater, then perhaps.
last year in my deficit, I would make these tortillas with these ingredients.
Yeah.
So I would do like reduced fat mozzarella, pizza sauce, and turkey pepperoni on the rice tortillas. So it's kind of like almost like a combination of these two.
Wow. Did this
Yeah, which I would still suggest not having the rice.
fill you up though?
Yeah, I felt good. Like I felt full. I didn't feel
It's
like oh, you know, stuffed or anything. I felt full though.
All right, I'm going for another bite. This is really good though.
Yeah.
This is delicious.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
This is
dude.
delicious.
There's also so much cheese on that.
There is a lot of cheese. Wow, this one on bottom has a lot more cheese. All right, let's get.
Go in. That was like 200 calories in one bite.
Don't remind me.
So again, the comparison aspect is TR, very much so. So I don't really love that. I don't love it.
Well, dude, you haven't had your side salad yet. Come on.
Oh yeah,
Try it out. Try it out.
Get some of that avocado. Actually, I don't want too much of that. It's a lot of calories.
I think a lot of people just go to their default, which is ranch. But dude, there's so many low calorie, like solid low calorie options.
Zero sugar sauces.
Yes.
They have a lot of sodium and there's artificial sweeteners.
I used to have like pepperoni juice on a salad and it was really good sometimes when I craved it. I also liked, it sounds weird, but like I went through a phase, I think it was like in 2023, which random, I was like smo. And I was just like wanting tuna, which tuna is not the best for hypo. But I was like, I'll just have it because I really wanted it. And I swelled, of course, because any fish back then I would swell like a balloon. I'd swell like a beluga whale anytime I'd have fish. But I had some tuna, and it would have like tuna and I don't think it was mayonnaise. I think it was like, what did I put on it? Like sour cream or something. It was like really good. And then I put pepperoncinis on it. Like I had an era with that. But then it passed, and then I was sick of it. So, I don't know. I do think you should try to eat your cravings because they usually mean something, especially if it's real food. And I also think it's good to get different types of protein if you can. So, whatever. I just like pepperoncinis. I'm obsessed with them, and I like them on a salad. And that's like very low cal.
But they are a lifesaver in a deficit.
Well, helping me lose over 100 pounds in 12 months, so.
And there's none of those oils in it either.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's finish this meal, and then from here, I'm gonna take you through a little gym segment. How's that sound?
No way you're finishing that. But let's do it.
Over 1,000 calories for something most people would call a light lunch. 4 tortillas, some cheese, some sausage. It doesn't feel excessive, but the numbers don't lie. The swaps keep everything that makes the meal satisfying. The pizza concept, the layers, the protein, and cuts it almost in half. Same cravings.
It doesn't though, because the fat profile is totally different. So it's not very satiating at all.
I mean, how was the workout?
It was a lot.
Yeah? Did the food that you consumed, though, how'd that make you feel? Like, through the workout, though?
I think it was light enough to where it didn't really make me feel sluggish or anything.
Awesome. All right, what do we eat next? What's on the menu?
It's snack time.
Oh, man.
Okay, so at 3 in the morning on streaming days, I would walk to the grocery store. I would buy an entire Danish and usually a half gallon of chocolate milk. And it sucks to even say this out loud, but this was basically just a late night snack for me.
Okay, so he was craving calcium massively. So a lot of times when you're hypo, you crave calcium badly. And even when you're just downsizing in general, but when you're hypo on top of it, you really need calcium. So he was fiending for that. That's what this was about. So I would say, like, once again, just have the chocolate milk and don't have this. This is not going to help. This is mixing starch with those oils again. This would actually help.
Wow. And this may or may not
And if you can get a higher quality chocolate milk, that'd be even better, but that's what I would have said.
have cumulatively more calories than the last meal I showed you. All right, so what am I eating?
Here we are. So, post-workout snack, Oreo cheesecake, and then we have a protein shake to go.
All right.
So that has a lot of additives and stuff in it. And again, those sugars, they're not good. Those fake sugars are not great for somebody who's SMO. They're going to be hungry. So it's not going to work. This has those oils in it too. I don't think it's that bad if you're not that big. But if you are, I would just say no. Just don't. The chocolate milk is better.
I know these for sure.
They're good. This is, I mean, did you use a spoon?
Butter knife, and then I would slice it and just eat it by the wedge, basically.
Okay, butter knife. Okay, so
No, yeah, I would just cut a whole vertical slice, and I would just pick it up and eat it by hand.
wow. And this was just something you
But
had.
this is so light for me at the time. Like, this was so easy to just pick up and eat.
Wow.
Honestly.
So this is just
Of
something laid
course, because it has those oils and the starch once again, so it's not satiating at all, which is what I've been saying.
at night.
I had an office.
He's
for
showing
3
how much starch people eat. I've tried to tell you guys that all the time. It's a lot. It's a lot of starch and a lot of oils.
And I would literally walk to the grocery store, buy this, and walk back, and then just go through it while watching YouTube or something.
Wow. Okay.
Didn't really think about it.
Here we go. To be fair, this does look really good and it smells phenomenal.
Oh, it
How's the smell of that?
smells better than I thought it was gonna.
All right. Cheers.
Let's go, baby.
So that's probably like diet culture slop. I used to call it that, where it's like, or sludge. Diet culture sludge is usually like some kind of fake cream cheese thing, or no, fake cheesecake thing with cottage cheese, and you just kind of make the sludge. So sludge can have a place in a diet culture journey, but it's not helpful. Like, you need a different kind of sludge. It's like the opposite type of sludge. So you'd need just like the full-on chocolate milk with the sugar and everything if you're super morbidly obese. So again, it's like liquid diet versus sludge. But you see how like the hypo is increasing on both ends of the spectrum. It's like a hypo thing. So anyways, the only thing about the diet culture sludge is it tends to have a lot of additives in it, which for somebody who's as big as him, they can make him hungrier. So I wouldn't suggest it.
Okay.
Okay. This is good.
Wash it down with some chalky milk.
All right, man.
Oh, the texture of this is a lot weirder than I anticipated, but it's actually really good
So this has 667 calories in it.
for this whole
Oh my
thing.
gosh.
Yes. And 85 grams of protein.
Wow.
Protein.
That's a lot of calories for that sludge. No. If we're doing sludge, no. I don't like his choices. I don't. I'm judging. Auntie's judging right now. Even from a diet culture perspective, I'm like, no. That's a lot of calories. So, Auntie Alex's version, again, I'd say cottage cheese, and I'd get the fat-free whipped cream. And that altogether, I think it's like around the same. It's like 600 and something. Because maybe a little more, maybe like almost 700. But again, it's more protein, more calcium, and it's very filling. Cottage cheese is really filling. There's a reason why it's the life's blood of a diet culture vampire. So if not, then what you could do, that's pretty high cal, but what I was thinking. So if you wanted like a Kesha style, so a shallow cal def sludge, then you could have chocolate pudding mix in the cottage cheese. That would work. That's a sludge that I would suggest. Or you could have like a sugar-free type of pudding in it too. And that would be, once again, probably more filling. You'd still get like the chocolate flavor or whatever. Or you could just do what I did and I'd have like Mike and Ike's. No, I'm just kidding. I was just crazy with Mike and Ike during my vanity era, but it was the one joy I had. It's $4.40. And yeah, lots of cottage cheese, lots of hard-boiled eggs. I mean, those two things are what got me through, basically. Some people are Greek yogurt people. I think that can work too. That you see how that's also diet culture sludge. So you can work with things. I would even say oats can make it into the diet culture sludge category. If you do it right, if your body's at a place, if you're doing a lot of heavy lifting and you're building some muscles and stuff, I think even like an oat thing would work. Maybe even some chia seed sludge would work too. There's a lot of sludge options. So diet culture, vampirism, and that side of the spectrum, there's more options. But if you're smo, just have the chocolate milk. Just have it.
and a punch. Yeah.
And the thing is it's just like when you're consuming more protein, you're able to, be more full. So it's just definitely one of those things I did.
I definitely been consuming a lot more protein.
Yes,
lately.
you have. You've been doing good.
Let's go.
Awesome. All right, man. So lay it on me. How many calories in this, dude?
If you were to drink this whole thing and eat this entire thing, it would be over 2,600 calories. Now, given at the time, I had no sense of calories.
Yeah.
Like, this is not, like, listen, I don't care who you are. This is not that hard to consume. Like, this is pretty light.
I don't agree. I think the milk is really filling. Even for a small person, the milk is pretty filling. The cake, probably. But again, it has those oils in it, so it's not very satiating at all.
You might feel sick after this much chocolate milk, but, like, it's not that difficult to
Even
consume.
he's admitting it. Auntie knows. I know.
Does it help that I'm lactose intolerant?
Oh, well, that wouldn't be good for him. You can get lactose free, though.
Pediatric dosage, dude.
There we go. In question, do you put it in a cup or you just drink it like this?
No, I just drink the whole thing.
Cheers.
Yeah. It's funny, the calorie and protein differences of the sips we just took. Oh,
Yeah, man.
it's ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Even with the deflated whipped cream, this is actually
It's pretty solid, huh?
Pretty solid, yeah.
Good post-workout snack, man. This would just get me super sick if I consumed this all.
it's so easy though.
So,
like I don't know what it is about that
It's
specifically.
because you're hypo and you have insulin resistance.
Like it's just so good that like, what are you gonna do? Just
And
stop?
you probably have a toxic ritualistic thing going on. So your brain is fried. So it's easy. It wouldn't be easy for me anymore. I'd be like, ugh. But I wouldn't want to because of those damn oils. I'd be like, I want to make my own. But I just have so many things on my mind where I'm like, first of all, I don't give a shit about it at all. Second of all, so that's enough in and of itself. I'm not somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I really want this, Danish. There's certain things I care about. Like I cared a lot about the damn peeps for Easter. It really bothered me. And I cared about my dots for Halloween. Like there's certain things where like the feelings and the food combine, or like the sort of like sentimentality of it kicks in for me too. There's certain foods at Christmas that I would miss terribly if I didn't have it. Like for example, we have like wine jello that we make every year. If I didn't have that, I'd be so upset. So there's certain things like that I want specifically. But it's like a random Danish on a random night, I don't care about. And then I don't want to upsize. So I'm like, ugh. And then I don't want to have those damn oils. It's just not worth it to me. And I'd be like, this is low resolution crap, basically. And it's probably not even that great. And it's going to make me feel like absolute trash after. And I'm either going to A, be hungry because I'm still counting, or B, I'm going to be like gaining, which I'm not going to undo the work I did. I should have told you guys I have too much self-respect and too much pride in my work to do that. So I'm like, no. I just wouldn't. Plus, I would probably still even get full because I'm not that insulin resistant.
And
my brain isn't fried, so I can't just massively overdo it anymore. My brain says no. My brain would get disgusted if I were to keep going. My brain would be like, ew, stop. And I'd be like, okay, because I don't have the TR anymore.
Back then, you don't really think about portions or anything.
Oh, no.
So it's like, why would you stop eating? It's good and it's right there. So you just...
Because typically you would get full, but your brain was fried. That's why. Hypo, insulin resistance, TR. The trifecta.
Ooh, you wouldn't feel sick afterwards?
No, I would eat that and then I would go home and go to bed.
Wow.
I know it's really disgusting to even think about that, but that was
It's just TR, your brain's fried.
behavior back then.
Yeah, this is really good. Wow. Dude, it's almost ridiculous how much I've consumed already. I'm a little scared of what dinner is going to be.
Yeah, let's just say the calories of what you've consumed so far don't even come close to what's to come.
Really?
Yeah.
So is the dinner the bingo?
The snack is where most people don't realize they're adding a full meal's worth of calories to their day. It's just something sweet in the afternoon, no big deal. But 1,000 calories between lunch and dinner is where the day really gets away from you. The Oreo cheesecake bowl and the...
When I was doing a lot of like downsizing, like my snack in the afternoon would typically be like, I think it makes me think of like my bra era a lot. So I'd have like apples a lot. To me, that's a snack. It was energizing. Apples are dopaminergic. I don't even know what I'm saying. So it's very helpful at class 1 obesity. It works very well. And it's pretty low cal. So that's what I would do typically for a snack.
The protein shake hit the same sweet spot, and we're actually getting more protein out of the swap than the original. That's not a sacrifice. That's just smarter. All right, so just a few hours ago, we had our little snack.
Yeah.
Now we're on to dinner, okay?
You ready?
Let's do it, man. What do you got for me?
I never thought this order would see the light of day, but we have a large stuffed crust meat lovers pizza.
That smells really good.
With white sauce, because I'm not a big tomato sauce fan.
So again, a lot of starch. And then there are going to be those oils in the sauce, in the crust. So what I would tell somebody who's SMO is just have the meat and the cheese and don't have the big thing of starch at the bottom. It's a lot of calories that people don't think about. So once again, he's having a lot of starch.
White. I've never had
Of
white
course, the white sauce is way more calories.
Never had white sauce.
And an order of cinnamon sticks.
Ooh, what is that?
With
Trash. Very low quality. Would make you hypo. It's bad.
extra dipping icing. Because
And the icing is a bunch of seed oil bullshit and sugar and all that crap. It's really bad when you combine them. I tell you guys all the time, please do not combine the oils and sugar. It's really bad.
container of icing wasn't enough for all the steaks.
So, I mean, how many slices do you have?
So I would finish this all, but I would usually, it would be same day, different settings.
Okay.
So I would eat half of this, wait 5 or 6 hours, and eat the other half.
Okay.
So technically I would down the whole thing, but for one meal, it would basically be half the pizza, half the steaks.
So how many calories in this, like, whole meal?
Not including the dipping sauces, I think this is 4,100.
4,100.
168 grams of protein and almost 400 carbs.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Is that cheese inside?
Stuffed crust, yeah.
Oh, you gotta go stuffed crust. I get that for sure.
Seeing this again is wild, man. I would order this at the office. My office was right down the road from pizza.
Yeah, so in maintenance and stuff like that, I would say you could have it, but like have one slice, that kind of thing. But you have to like have enough non-toxic ritualistic stuff going on. Like I understand that that's definitely a recovered position to be in, but you do get there with years of recovery or years of not engaging in bingo. So it just depends on where you're at. I understand somebody being like, I don't want to be around that right now. I get that. And I don't think you have to be. And I wouldn't suggest keeping things like that in the house if you're still like at risk of playing bingo, basically. So you have to think about where you're at. I'm not at risk of playing bingo. To me, bingo can go fuck itself, right? That's where I'm at. So I can keep the bag of individual wrap dots in my bedroom and I would allot them out and I was fine, which I talked about that back in October. But that's, you know, it was like 5 years since I played bingo when that happened, you know? So I think people get into this mindset where I can never. And it's like, no, you probably could, but it could be years. Okay, so like think about it that way. You can't right now. So try to think about it more in that sense. Because there is a lot of like mental work and physical work. And again, if you're hypo, you have to get through that. You have to treat it or figure it out. You have to not have insulin resistance. You have to not engage in the TR, so not play bingo for a long ass time. And then your brain changes. It totally changes.
So I would finish a 10-hour stream and then I would order this and just go pick it up and turn on Netflix or something and just gorge, you know? It's kind of crazy because like I was so afraid of eating on camera. I still don't like eating on camera because of my size. So while I was live,
a little bit TR.
I wouldn't eat at all.
Okay.
So I would go like 10 hours without eating and then I would be so hungry that like something like this was just really bad.
Wow.
Like really dangerous. Okay, so this is what you've got. Wow. What am I eating?
And yet he claims to not have an issue.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. So we got some.
If you have that whole thing, that's a bingo. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to call it. I'm going to have to stamp it with the scarlet letter B. That's a lot. So when people are like, oh, what's a bingo? Oh my gosh, something like that, that is one. That's a lot. Especially if you already had like a heavy day. I think that is one. For sure.
Cinnamon churros.
Okay.
That's what I like to call them.
Look at the size of these compared to the salmon steaks, bro. Oh my gosh.
And then open this up. Open this. I'm not gonna open it. You open it.
All right,
I'll open this one.
It's like unwrapping a Christmas present. Whoa. So is this like,
Yep.
like bagel bites kind of thing?
Here we go.
These actually look good.
Yeah. No, they're dude. Again, it's one of the things that really.
So this is very similar to the lavash, except for it's just on bagels.
I don't know. It's kind of a lot of cows. You know? Is it just me? If I was doing vanity, I wouldn't want that. I don't know. I'm not like, I think a bagel is kind of high cal for that. I don't know. If you're doing a Kesha style, if it's like shallow or in maintenance, totally. I could see that in maintenance, but I'm like, I don't know if I would do that. Not me judging a little bit. I'm like, I don't know about that. You know, maybe in maintenance. Maybe in maintenance.
I've noticed there's a lot of pizza in this video. I know.
You like pizza? There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, to be fair, I was very fat, but I don't think I ever would have done the tortilla pizzas and this on the same day.
Okay.
They're just two meals that I would have eaten.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, you want to know something?
Yeah.
You know, pizza
I
is
don't believe it.
like my favorite food. And I know that sounds
Yeah.
super basic because everyone's like, I don't know.
Everybody likes pizza.
And it's
mostly.
like the meat pizza specifically. I haven't had the white sauce.
Meat lovers?
Yeah.
So you're meat lovers.
Oh, I'm
so
big.
this is straight up your alley.
Oh, for
Just a
sure.
little extra
For
with the stuffed crust and the white sauce.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's go.
I'm excited to see what you think.
Cheers, brother.
Let's do it.
Gosh, 4,100. My gosh. That's a bingo. Like I said, that one, I could kind of see the 500, whatever. I guess if it's like a dinner, it's not bad, but I just don't think it's enough. Like, I don't know. I would be hungry, honestly. But I think for me, like, I like a big hunk of meat, you know? Or like a big hunk of cheese. Like, so, I don't know. I mean, now I'm in maintenance, but when I was doing my vanity, like, I'm trying to think of my Lana era. Yeah, for dinner, I literally, like, so many nights I had just 6 medium eggs. And then I'd have, like, in the morning, I'd have the cottage cheese concoction of some sort. And then in the afternoon, I'd have my Mike and Ike. And I had a lot of caffeine. And then I'd have, like, a vitamin C, like, shot. So it's like it's 20 cals for, like, a shot of juice. And it has 200% of your vitamin C in it. So I'd have that, and then I'd make sure I'd have the calcium. So I'd probably have the cottage cheese and a protein shake. And then I'd have 6 medium eggs, and then I'd have, like, canned chicken or something. It's pretty bare bones. So that was, like, super bare bones. When I was in my Kesha era, so, like, a more shallow version of vanity downsizing, I'd have these heavenly hunks. So they're kind of like the sweet, sugary, oaty, like, hunks, and they're like brownie bite. So I'd have that, and then I'd go to the gym with that, or I'd have like a little bag of candy from Walmart that's like 400 calories or something, and then I'd go to the gym afterwards. And then I'd have a steak for dinner, or maybe some steak and rice, something like that, because it's a little different, so it's not as strict. And then still kind of gym bro-ish, and then it was easier, like, if we were, like, when we celebrated Easter, I was able to have, like, an In-N-Out burger because I had enough calories to work with, and I could have, like, I had the burger and the shake, but I had the burger bunless. And so you kind of make those types of concessions because I wanted the shake, and the shake is more filling. See, so it's like you have that, and I didn't have any fries. So you see, I'd make those substitutions. And then when we went to, like, the candy store, I got a caramel apple because it's actually lower cal than other stuff there, but it's still very, like, decadent and fun. So I do that kind of thing in the Kesha era, so you can kind of see the difference. And then I had an easier time eating out. So a lot of times in the Kesha era, I'd eat out and I'd have, like, steak and potato, or I like to go to this British restaurant with my family. We go all the time, and they have, like, shepherd's pie, and then they have beef tala fries there. So I like to get the shepherd's pie and beef tala fries. So that's pretty high cal when you have the whole thing, but I could budget it for the day or do it on a gym day or something, even in a cashiera, you know, for me personally. But if it was Lana, no. You sit your ass home. If you're deep in that CalDef, you sit your ass home and you don't do anything. Because you can't. So if it was that, it was a hell no. And I like hardly ever went out. I was super locked in. So it depends on what you're doing. So yeah, so maybe this would work for like a Kesha style for sure. It's like less strict, but vanity-ish. I could see it. So it's probably for that like light CalDef in a vanity journey. I could see that for that. I think that would work very well.
Oh my.
Okay. Isn't it ridiculous? The white sauce is crazy. First time having white sauce, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
High calorie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is, but
It's basically just adding heavy cream and garlic to an already ridiculously caloric pizza.
this is really good.
It's heavy.
And I will say, I haven't eaten like this in a while.
Yeah.
I know I haven't been eating like everything,
Yeah.
but just like the food in general, like the grease and
This is dense.
I think he's afraid of eating saturated fat, which I don't think you have to fear it. I don't think you need it as much when you're not as big. Like, I don't personally need it. For me, some people, they probably need more fat than carb. It's genetic. Just figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm not here to like judge and tell everybody what they need to do. Your satiety signals will tell you. For me, I don't need as much saturated fat these days, so I don't really have a lot. But you're not going to die, PeachFit, from having it. Like, chill the fuck out. You're in maintenance. You know, it's like, chill. But just have like one slice or something. It's not that big of a deal. Like, even for me, if I wasn't as nervous about the gluten, I don't know. I don't want those damn oils, though. I have like a personal beef against the damn oils. But I would have a Danish if it was like prepared in actual ingredients. Like if it had butter, I would have it. I would have a little bit. You know, I'd have a slice. It's not a big deal. Especially in maintenance, it's not a big deal. So I still feel like there's some comparison things going on between the two of them, and it's just kind of weird. I can see why this video made people uncomfortable. I'll put it to you that way. It is uncomfortable to watch.
Yes.
And it's greasy.
Yes.
And it's thick, but
It's
like
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word to describe it.
How are you liking that though?
It's good. This is basically what we had earlier, but with better texture.
For sure.
I like the texture of these bagels a lot more than that thin crust thing. Yeah. Okay, so we've established that this is a ridiculous amount of calories. What are we looking at over here?
Okay. So calories of all this, 534 calories, 54 grams of protein.
Wow. So like perfect golden ratio.
Yeah. No.
And it's not a small amount of food.
No, not at all. I mean, dude, I was consuming this all the time.
I think that would work for like a obese era a little bit, or maybe like a Kesha style, like I said, or shallow deficit.
I was losing weight, so
Yeah.
it's something you could absolutely implement. Because not everything I gave you today, it might not be your like cup of tea, but like,
Well, I will say these over that flatbread thing for sure.
yeah, these are good. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, one of my favorites.
All right, you ready to try dessert?
Cheers.
Let's go. Dude,
I bet yours is not as good as mine.
knowing what that tastes like and then biting into this, I'm not gonna lie, very underwhelming.
Look at this.
Oh yeah,
That is
Comparison.
it's so
Triggering.
my stomach hurts.
Yeah,
So the comparison is triggering. And then he mean like my stomach hurts, like that kind of stuff. It's like, there's something to this. There's some sus zombie activity. I feel it. Something is afoot here. I don't like it. So that's the stuff I don't like. And that's what Ethan is gonna think about later is, oh yeah, well, he was saying it was so much better and it was and that's triggering. I don't like that. So to me, it's not a big deal, but it's just the amount. It's like, do you need to have like a whole pizza? So that's where you get kind of delulu. That pizza could feed a family. Okay. So let's get back to that pizza feeding a whole family. And then we'll be okay.
I can see that. This stuff is so heavy.
I feel like I have to have a bite of this, the cheese crust.
I would have a bite folded. Oh my god, it's almost like he's done this before.
It's almost like I was
Like that is literally the way.
You fold it like a dude. Trust me. Hey,
Yeah.
look, I've been there, done that, bro.
All right, get it. Yeah. It's like the fattest thing you could eat, bro. Literally, this is some of the most fat man shit you could possibly do.
I don't feel good.
No.
I actually don't feel good.
Now imagine going through this whole pie in an 8-hour window. It almost becomes easier to eat when it's cold too, because it solidifies and it just.
I'm tapped out, man. I can't.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I'll finish one of these little bagel things.
So can you see yourself eating this and losing weight? Everything that I showed you today?
I think so, yeah. I would do some of the things differently, but I think all the foods you show me would definitely be cohesive to a weight loss journey.
My honest opinion is no. Maybe within a very specific context. So like a Kesha style or a shallow cal def, basically meaning a pound or less per week. I think I could have some of what he's saying to have. But if I was going deep, so if I was trying to do like 2 pounds per week in vanity, or if I was super morbidly obese, even obese, I don't think so. I don't think it would be good. So in maintenance, I could have some of what he's having, you know. But I don't think it's the best, personally. It's not something I would suggest. But I don't really talk a lot about like food choices and stuff. But I would think you'd want it to be, you know, I always think about what's filling, you know.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Could you see yourself reaching over 600 pounds if you ate like this every day?
Yes, I would get super sick.
So I think both of our diets serve their purpose.
100%. Let me say I do have something for you at the office that I'm going to give to you. Okay, since this helped you, what I'm about to give you is going to really help you.
Sounds good. Let's go get it.
Gosh, it's wild.
So we made it back from Pizza Hut. Man, that was a lot.
Seeing that again was crazy.
Wait, hold on. I want to see. Wait, 1 second. Okay, so for me, this level in vanity, this would be like that 22-ish hundred. This would be like that Kesha style. So a shallow cal def, about a pound per week. I'd still be struggling though. So I don't think I could have Jacob's, that's his name. I don't think I could have his diet. I would be struggling because that's low. For me, under 23 is low. At my height and stuff, I'm 6'1". That's where I'm starting to struggle a little bit. So I'd have to be definitely more strict. Like, again, I would have to not have a bagel, for example. I think that would make me hungry. So it's like there's certain things, but I would have the oats before the gym. Like that would kind of work. You know what I'm saying? So I would have more starch in that style. But I don't know. I don't think it would work. I don't think it would work for me. This is crazy. So to me, this is like bingo territory.
So we made it back from Pizza Hut. Man, that was a lot.
Seeing that again was crazy.
How are you feeling about the whole day?
I feel good about it. Yeah.
I'm a little lethargic. I'm not feeling great.
Yeah.
But
well, look at some of the foods you just ate.
Right. And I'm super used to just the foods that you ate today. Right.
Yeah, so, that's your norm. That was mine.
Yeah. How are you feeling with like what you're consuming now?
Good.
Feeling pretty good, man?
Yeah.
Well, I told you I was gonna get you something when we came back to the PeachFit office, right?
Yeah. What you got?
I got you this, man. So obviously you're here in California for a reason. You're here to lose weight.
Yeah.
So I have a whole step-to-step. This is your meal plan, okay? So this is a system that I use that a lot of people use inside of my weight loss program that lose a lot of weight, and you're gonna be on the same exact thing, okay? So it's what to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of people, like, they kind of guess what they're eating. They kind of wake up and they're like, oh, what do I want to eat? It's all in here. This is what you're doing. This is what's gonna get you.
I'm one for intuitively eating macros, but not cals. So that's kind of my approach. So I think a lot of it is choose your own adventure. I can't tell you what would make you more full or less full for most people. However, I do think super morbid obesity is a more uniform experience. So I think I can say it at that level. And same with like extreme hypothyroidism and stuff like that. But yeah, you have to figure out your carb to fat ratios and what works for you. I'm more of a low fat baddie myself. But like Robin, she's more of a high fat baddie, right? She does better with lower carbs. So it's like you have to look at your genetic code. Some people are volume eaters, some people are not. I am not, right? So for me, satiety, fiber has almost no influence on satiety for me personally. That doesn't mean that that would be true for you, right? So you have to look at certain things and just how you are. You need to see how certain foods affect you. And when you're super morbidly obese, you have to have stuff that is heavy, hard hitting, and stimulating to get through, especially if you're working out, especially if you're being active and all that stuff. You have to do it in order to continue. And if you don't, then you will end up falling off. And you likely will still have to take a break. So it is rough. It is very physically difficult. And I wish him the best. A lot of people are complaining about this. I might react to somebody complaining to it and just kind of give some of my perspective as somebody who was that big. I have it. It's credible. It's verified, etc. And I downsized and I've kept it off. So I started that in 2022. Everything I've lost from that point, I've kept off the whole way. So I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, etc. This is kind of interesting. This is interesting. Remember, anything I'm talking about with food and stuff, it's not like a hard line. I don't really believe in that. I don't believe in hard food rules, but I do believe in like hypothyroidism as a condition, for example. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.